Hey everybody, now we are covering what is the auction that Google famously talks about. There is an auction going on every time we bid for a keyword and how that auction works. Let's cover step by step. So first, there is a formula that Google releases and everybody knows that formula, but there is no exact formula for the quality score. So we are paying certain amount for a keyword and our competitor is also paying certain amount for a keyword, right? So let's say person A is someone we have no idea, person B is me, right? Here I am happy and I am bidding for the keyword of red shoes, and my competitor is also bidding on the keyword red shoes. Who's gonna get that keyword? Meaning, who is gonna rank above the other person? Because there's a big difference, guys. Let's think about, you see how those ads appear, and let's say I appear at the very like at the top of the page, but not absolute top of the page, and let's say the other person has to appear below the page or on the next page. That there's a huge difference. A lot of people don't actually go to the next page even, right? So there's a good old saying like the best place to bury a body is the second page of Google. That shows like nobody else looks at it. The idea is the little thing that we are also bidding $2, and who is gonna be on top of the other person. And there's gonna be other factor playing into this, because let's say we're also bidding $2 and he's also bidding $2. Who is gonna show his or her ads in front of the other person? So there is this formula called ad rank formula. There is this bid, how much you are willing to pay for a certain keyword. In this case, both of us are paying $2 multiplied by quality score. So what is the quality score? Quality score becomes really important because you don't want to end up trying to pay more than your competitors, because if you optimize certain things, your quality score will be way better, and then you might even pay less than your competitors and still be on top of them. There is no exact formula how they calculate the quality score, but we know what factors play into calculating that quality score. Let's cover one: expected click-through rate. So how they expect that click-through rate? Click-through rate is clicks divided by impressions multiplied by 100. So how they expect a certain number if they have no data? So they look at your copy, and of course they crawl your copy, and they look at the site link extensions, they look at the call out extensions, how many extensions you're using, because those extensions are proven to increase your click-through rate. That's why Google pushes you to use those site link extensions. So keep that in mind, please. And also, if you start running ads for a while, let's say a couple of months, they will look at your past click-through rate data. Let's say if you constantly have more than 10% click-through rate, they will think, okay, this guy has been giving us really high click-through rate. That way, we know, looking at the previous data, let's say your click-through rate is way more than your competitors. That's a huge point. That's why you have to nail down on how you write your copy section. And we will cover how to write copy on certain Google search ads or Google discovery ads and so on and so forth. How to write Google Ads specific copy, because Google Ads specific copy is really concise. You don't get to write really long form copies. What is the other factor? So we get that out of the way. We know that we want to increase our click-through rate, right? Ad relevance. What is ad relevance, guys? Ad relevance is the only thing that is actually quite important. So I would say this is the most important one, ad relevance. Landing page experience and expected click-through rate is a little bit less important, if you ask me. I'm saying this by looking at my previous experience, what I conducted, via tests with different landing pages, and that's the conclusion I get to. Why? So there are a lot of factors that contribute into ad relevance. One of them is how many times you're using that specific keyword that you're bidding on, red shoes, on your website and on your headlines. So let's say if you don't have red shoes in your headlines, in your ad headlines, and you have no mention at all on your landing page, on your product page, whatever you take people from your ads to, there's no mention of red shoes, there is no ad relevance there. So it's not relevant. Like, people are not going there and actually seeing what they expect to see, right? And there's kind of a clickbait going on there. So that will decrease your ranking. That's the last thing Google wants. Clickbaity content. That's why you have to signal Google, all right, I have that specific keyword I'm bidding on my landing page, also like many times, not even once. you have to have it at least 3% of whatever there on your landing page. I would say 1 to 3% of the words has to be red shoes. So it is dense of that specific keyword, and Google knows, okay, it is there. At least having that on the headline has a big corner in the H1 header. If you have that specific keyword in the H1, it's a big factor. And also you want to have that keyword, let's say you are using, let's say 5 different keywords in one ad group. You want to have those 5 different keywords in your ad as well, right? You want to have all those keywords in your ads. That's why we use different ad groups and different ads. And landing page experience. Landing page experience is critical, and that will actually show Google once they leave Google, actually their site, and where they're landing and how much time they're spending on the website. If they're going to the website and it keeps on loading, and they just don't land on your website, they don't want that to happen again, because they value the user experience more than any other business. That's how they make money, actually, from advertisers. But of course, the users has to be happy using that search engine. Otherwise, if Bing, has a lot of more websites that loads pretty fast, what will the users do? I will just rather go to Bing and have a faster experience. That's why page load speed is really important. And also, it has to be user friendly. People don't bounce right away. 1, when it comes to here, load speed, and 2, people has to take certain actions. Of course, your conversion rate is important as well, but usually if people don't bounce when they come to your website in seconds, that's a good indicator your website doesn't suck. But if they navigate in your website, go to one page, go back, or they just make a purchase, they engage in your website, that's a great landing page experience. And also, it has to load fast. That's really important, guys. And those, if you nail those factors, you can pay actually less, and you can still take that ranking on top of your competitor. That's how important this is. And there's actually one more thing that I want to cover. Let's say if your max CPC, let's say you use manual CPC, right? Manual CPC bidding strategy. If your manual CPC is like, this is the max, how much you're willing to bid for that specific keyword. Let's say you're willing to bid 10, and then your competitor is willing to bid $2. And there's a big misconception that if you win the auction, you're going to pay $10. No, that's not the case. You're bidding 10 cents above your competitor. So what you're going to pay in this case, $2.10. So that, I just wanted to get that out of the way so we have no problem. If you're watching this on YouTube, I have a full link of this course under Udemy. You can get that, purchase it right away. And if you like this type of video, please, on the course, if you're watching this on the platform itself, please leave me a review. That will help me and a lot of people who will benefit from this course as well. Take care.